County Commissioners and ask that we all please rise. We'll begin by honoring America with the pledge of allegiance and follow that by a moment of silence. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please be seated. Yes, we want to welcome you all to today's meeting. I do want to remind everyone that the meetings, I believe, is being audio recorded and video recorded, at least the front half of the room is being video recorded. Okay, so just so you're all very much aware of that. With that, we will, I would ask that there was one new agenda item added to today's agenda that varies from the one that was posted on our webpage yesterday. Page 2, personnel, I think the second item was added, is that correct?
That's the new one, yes.
Everything else on the agenda today is as it was presented, we posted on our webpage on Wednesdays. Okay, so the first order of business is call for the approval of the minutes from the previous meeting that was given to us for review. Did someone move that motion? Okay, motion made and second to approve the minutes. There are no additions or corrections to be noted? None? All those in favor of approving the minutes signify by saying aye. 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 Motion carries. This is now time for public comment period on the agenda items. We are going to allow a second comment period after we get through the printed agenda, specifically for any questions regarding the proposed 2020 budget, but we would like to separate that out and do that at the end and get through our business first. But with that said, I will ask if anyone wants to address the board on the agenda items. Kevin, Michelle, do you want to address the board at this time?
No, we would like to address during the proposed budget section.
You would, Kevin?
I just have a question. Looking at the topic, consider approval of proposal for the removal of the sprinkler system. If you could just clarify that when you get to it or anything, because that's
We will.
okay.
All right. You have that answer, right, Jeff? Somewhat. Okay, we'll address that at the time it's on the floor for discussion.
Okay, thanks.
All right, then we'll get back to the budget inquiries at the end of the agenda. So with that, does anybody else have anything to address the board about at this time on the agenda items? Okay, with that, we'll move forward, and for the first half of the agenda, Commissioner Snyder is going to present the items on page 1 and top of page 2. Okay, so if you want to go ahead, turn the meeting over to Jeff.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Consider adoption of the Clinton County J-Net use policy to be effective December 5th, 2019.
Okay. Right.
I'll
Second the motion. This was discussed at our work session on Monday, and we're satisfied with the status of that policy. So, all those in favor of approval signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. The motion carries.
Consider approval of renewal of a 1-year maintenance agreement with Beyond Trust, formerly Bumgar, for remote access software at a cost of $1,656.10.
The motion is made. Second to the motion. The motion carries. That also was discussed at our work session, and Commissioner Susie did tell me that they had some meetings scheduled this morning, but if we need someone to come here, they would do. So we would call down, but I told her since she was here and explained this to us Monday, we would need them to do that. All right? Okay. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
The approval is granted unanimously. Next item.
Consider approval of a proposal from Moorfield Communications for renewal of a 1-year KTEL support on Forever Suite phone logging software at a cost of $650.
Thank you. Commissioner Snyder, Commissioner Conklin, same explanation. IT reviewed this with us Monday. All those in favor of approving the motion signify by saying aye. Aye. The motion is unanimously approved.
Consider approval of a proposal from Spirit Sprinkler to remove existing fire sprinkler system from the garden building in the atrium and soffit area on a time and material basis with a labor rate of $68 per hour.
The motion is made and a second to the motion. Second. Thank you, Commissioner.
The explanation is when the garden building was renovated as it was for the county to use, that was an open atrium, and back in the day, there were no windows even in those areas around the atrium. Later on, they added the windows. But prior to the windows being added, it was under the fire code that there had to be a sprinkler system around the edge of that atrium because it would act like a chimney, more or less, if there would be a fire.
So this is on the outside?
It's on the inside of the building around the atrium. So, when the renovations are occurring now for the probation department to be on the third floor of the garden building, they're actually closing in that third floor atrium area. So when the inspector was there, the inspector said that this system is worthless now because of closing that area in, and it can be removed. So I talked to the city code enforcement office and the inspectors, and the system is going to be removed because it's essentially of no value.
Who was the inspector?
That I don't remember.
Okay.
I can get that for you if you want, but.
If you could, please, yeah. Appreciate it.
If you'd say his name, I would remember Kevin. I just can't remember names anymore.
Well, considering the county and the city doesn't have a fire inspector, they outsource it. That's what I'm trying to find out who they go through and what version of the NFPA fire code they're looking at. Because I know the city is looking at going to a newer version. They were using an outdated version, so they're considering going to the most recent building code, which would incorporate the most recent NFPA codes.
I'll get you that information.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, Commissioners, do you have any questions on this item? Does anybody else, since we opened it up for discussion? Okay. All right, all those in favor of approving this, agreement, is it an agreement, Jan, contract
It's a
agreement?
proposal.
Signify by saying aye. Aye. I think unanimously that's also approved. And we'll
Consider approval of inmate housing agreements for Montour and Northumberland counties with a per diem rate of $70 per inmate per day, effective through December 31st, 2022. So,
Motion is made, second. Commissioner, thank you. Is this a renewal or new? It's not a new agreement, it's a renewal. Or not?
These
You know?
counties are already our users, but it's a 3-year agreement where before they used to do them 1 year at a time.
Okay. All right.
We're doing all of them over at this time.
Right, okay. Okay, all those questions, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye, the motion carries.
consider approval of updated memorandum of understanding with ASME Council 86 to amend the collective bargaining agreement covering employees at Clinton County Correctional Facility, creating 2 temporary bid positions, which will be known as utility officers, to be effective on the date fully executed by all parties. So moved.
Motion is made, second. The motion, Paul Conklin, just a brief explanation, because we do have a collective bargaining agreement with our corrections officers at prison. When we establish specialized jobs, they are called bid positions. That has to be incorporated into a side letter agreement with ASME to be included in the contract language. These individual officers will be used for, specifically used for transport. That's my understanding, correct? That they'll be used for transport, and therefore the union asked that to be established as a bid position, which is customary in collective bargaining agreements.
We've already had this before you and you did approve it, but when the union
sent it up to a higher level, they wanted a particular provision to be worded differently. Before, it said just the county had the right to terminate the agreement, and now it says that both the union and the county have the right to terminate this MOU.
Okay. All those in favor of approving the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion does carry. Flipping to page 2 now, 4D funds, Jeff.
Board of Commissioners will consider the transfer of 40 funds in the amount of $33,744 to the general fund for July 2019 reimbursement of expenses. So moved.
Second. Motion made, second to the motion, no discussion. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye, the motion carries unanimously.
The Board of Commissioners will consider the transfer of 40 funds from the 4D checking account to the 4D restricted account in the amount of $13,929.88 for incentives for the quarter ending June 2019. So moved.
Any motions made, second please. To the motion. Thank you, Commissioners.
Other questions?
Okay, Commissioner, proceed.
Now, if we could clarify a little bit what the restricted account, but what's the incentives represent?
Every month, they reimburse expenses of domestic relations through that first motion, and it's usually around that amount, around $30-some thousand. Every few months, you probably noticed that they also do this transfer. They get some kind of incentives in addition to reimbursement of expenses. I would have to have Colleen explain what the difference is, but those monies go into a restricted use account.
Okay. Okay, and it's for quarter ending June of 2019.
Yes, and the reimbursements are for the month ending July of 2019. So, yeah, that's how far back, how long it takes till those things get transferred.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
All right, we'll call the question. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Unanimously approved. I would ask Commissioner Conklin would like to direct us through the next items, board and authorities, and personnel items, as well as the county bills. Commissioner, thank you. Go ahead.
Okay, the Board of Commissioners will consider the reappointment of Karina Meyer as Farmer Director and Ralph Harnischbaker as Urban Director on the Clinton County Conservation District Board, each for a 4-year term expiring December the 31st of 2023. So moved.
Thank you.
Second.
The motion is made and seconded. This is the beginning of a process that usually occurs this time of the year and sometimes in January of restoring people, reappointing people to various boards and commissions. So, and their process is somewhat complicated because they get feedback from 6 or 7 outside entities.
That's correct.
And that, so, okay, thank you. So, the motion before us, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Okay, the Board of Commissioners will consider the reappointment of Lynn Hagan to the Clinton County Recreation Authority for a 5-year term expiring December the 31st of 2024. So moved.
Second.
Motion is made, second to the motion. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Nobody opposed, the motion carries.
The Board of Commissioners will consider the reappointment of Bruce Peters and James McGuire to the Clinton County Solid Waste Authority for 5-year terms expiring January the 1st of 2025. So moved.
Motion's made.
Second.
Second, Mr. Snyder. Okay, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion's unanimously approved. We'll have more of these over the next couple of weeks. Some of these we will consult with the new board, the new members of the Board of Commissioners on some of these. Other ones, some will be delayed to January. And, Ms. Angela, Miles, if you have questions on some of these, we've talked, the three of us talked about reaching out to you for your input on some of these, so, okay?
They have sent a report of the open positions to both Miles and Angela.
Okay. Personnel now, move to personnel agenda, Commissioner.
Okay, the Board of Commissioners will consider the transfer of Megan Bittner from full-time administrative assistant in the district attorney's office to full-time caseworker in Clinton County Children and Youth Services, effective December the 17th of 2019, at an annual salary of $34,568, which is a grade J, as established as the starting salary for this position at the salary board meeting on January the 7th of 2019. So moved.
A motion is made,
Second.
second to the motion. Is there anybody with children, youth comments?
We're just
You're
excited
picking
that,
somebody up from another department.
yeah, I'm sure the district attorney's office is,
We'll probably be getting a request to backfill that later.
She does have,
Probably have already.
she does have experience, so she used to work in the probation department, so she will be a really good asset to the agency.
Okay. All right, call the question. All those in favor of approving this transfer signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. The motion is approved.
Okay, the Board of Commissioners will consider the hiring of Brett Arnold as truancy outreach caseworker in the Clinton County Children and Youth Services, effective December the 20th of 2019, at an annual salary of $34,568, which is grade J, as established as the starting salary for this position at the salary board meeting on January the 7th of 2019. So moved.
Second.
Motion is made and properly seconded. Comments, just
No,
hard.
thank you for adding that to the
Right.
agenda.
Okay, we did, yeah, and all the clearances have been received.
Yep, everything's good to go.
Okay, that's the idea that was added. Okay, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
The Board of Commissioners will consider the resignation of James Royer, full-time 911 dispatcher in the Department of Emergency Services, effective December the 9th of 2019. So moved.
Second.
Motion is made and seconded. Okay. I don't know, we're taking applications for that position, are we not, Kathy, on an ongoing basis?
Yes.
Okay. All right, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries unanimously. Number 4.
The Board of Commissioners will consider the hiring of Andrew Moore as a full-time 911 dispatcher trainee at the Department of Emergency Services, effective December the 9th of 2019, at a rate of $11.50 per hour, as established by the salary board at their meeting on January the 7th of 2019. So moved.
Second.
Motion's made, second to the motion. Questions? Okay, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, that motion carries. That concludes our personnel agenda items, and Paul, we have, if you wouldn't mind presenting the bills for this week for approval.
Sure. Thank you. The Board of Commissioners will consider the approval of county bills in the amount of $2,039,563.49, net payroll in the amount of $311,205.54, and payment of $27,200.72 to employees for waiver of health insurance coverage for all of the period ending December the 6th of 2019. So moved.
And motion's made and seconded. You want to, we have, this board has traditionally, read off, those items exceeding $10,000. It's quite a list at this time, so I guess we'll keep with that practice. So I don't know, Paul, if you wanna do the honors,
Sure, I can do that. Okay, we have before us here those items over 10,000 individually would be payment to Aramark for food purchase for the correctional facility, $25,955.17. Payment to Chestnut Grove Recreation Authority, which is appropriation of funds of $45,000. We have Clinton County Housing Coalition with That's ESG 2018 invoice number 4 of $17,807.50. Payment to Delaware Valley Health, Trust Health Insurance, is just for the health insurance of $270,123.41. A payment to Divot, for the HRA of $16,727.52. Payment to Frigo Design, which is part of the 2017 capital project, B1B, $14,316.04. Jersey Shore State Bank, for a bond payment of $34,114.76. Lycoming Clinton Mental Health ID Program, the 2019 county match for the third quarter of $17,500. M&T Bank for the FICA taxes of $111,996.21. M&T Investment Group, which is the annual retirement contribution, otherwise known as the ARC payment, and that's $893,030. M&T Trust Company, the Shaner Investment TIF properties, $22,075.87. M&T Bank and PA state tax of $14,363.01. M&T Investment Group, the retirement plan of $142,981.63. Moorfield Communications for the Cisco Smart Net Renewal, which is $38,843.43. Payment to Pete Corps for the final installment of 2019 of $73,761 even. And Wood Services Incorporated for professional services for children and youth service for $31,434 even. And that would be all of the items that are individually over $10,000.
Okay, thanks you did a good job reading them off. Okay, call the question, that's the bill for this week. All those in favor of approving as presented, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Bills are approved as presented. Okay, we're flipping to page 3. And there's quite a few folks in the room today with a lot of elected officials. I don't need to call you on. Calling you one by one. First elected officials, row officers who are present, auditor, treasurer, county. And if you do not, we'll move to staff reports. Greg Smith.
Probably my last report on the trail, but before I hand over the keys, there are still a few items left on there that I need to do. I need to get locks on the gates down on the bridge. We haven't done yet, and I have some other lock keys I need to make copies of. Now, do you guys want copies of the Spook Hollow gates?
You mean
That's
keys?
one of the, yeah, keys of the gates.
How many sets do you have, Greg?
I only have one set for the Spook Hollow.
We should probably have,
I have keys and stuff that I need to hand out to the fire companies, but I have not yet sent any to the ambulance service to access along Cassidy area there.
to answer your question, we can talk later about
Okay.
some more things, but
But
yeah,
so basically, I only have a couple
things.
things left, the trail's remaining open, bathroom will remain open, and then I'll hand over the keys at the end of the month.
Have you been on the trail since we've had some weather events? Is it?
Yes, that time that I went out, I have to fix that one entrance down there in Wayne Township, I drove back through.
Right.
There is a couple areas, but I did repair them as I went through.
Okay, good, thank you, good, and, we'll talk later, but we do just say our heartfelt thanks for your effort on that trail, all your other recreational efforts. Greg's gonna leave us at the end of December, retiring, and we'll talk later at some point in one of our meetings about
I'm not leaving recreation totally, I was appointed full-time on the board of rec at Wayne Township.
Were you? Awesome, yeah, I think you did tell us that. So, we'll talk to you more later, but thanks for the report on the trail. I don't know if people are gonna use it over the winter. I do recall some people saying they'd be interested in cross-country skiing if we get enough snow.
Well, there's foot tracks in the snow now, so that people are walking across it now.
And a lot of eagle sightings along the trail.
Yeah.
I saw two in one tree the other day going by. And they're mature bald eagles perched in one tree at the same time. Okay, thanks, Greg. Okay, we did have a really good meeting with State Representative Borowitz the other day and talked about some county issues, statewide issues, a real good meeting, and she talked to us since then. Jeff gave her a report on the CCAP priorities for this year, okay? So, thank you. Emily, do you have anything you want to report from her office?
I do not, other than to announce that both our Wellsburg and Waukegan office are hosting a Christmas open house where constituents or community members can come and meet state representatives if they have not, or ask questions, or just come and visit. And that's December 12th and 13th from 11 to 2.
December 12th, 13th, 11 to 2. Is that at both offices? What
The
about
12th
Yeah.
is Milesburg and the 13th is Waukegan.
Okay, 13th, Waukegan.
And that's also in the newspaper. It was posted today.
Okay, very good. Very good. Okay. You guys have any questions? There's the State House in session at this time, you know?
Not today.
Not, are you gonna be in before Christmas, you know? Are you gonna, do we have any, you know?
Not that I believe.
Okay, so everything's gonna wait until probably January.
Yeah, they have lots of
Alright. And we're gonna share information with Miles and Angela on our legislative, and you're not oblivious to this, I know you're not, neither one of you are. Our, contacts, our works, things we're working on with our legislature, with, Scarlatti's office, with Stephanie's office, and let's share any of that with you that you wanna know. I know you won't be starting from scratch, that's for sure. So, okay, before we turn now to our, we wanted to get through the agenda, and Jan said we were gonna have some pretty hefty agendas each of the next 2 weeks here on Thursday.